this. This is a really great way to start an audio podcast is by...
Trevor, will you describe what we're doing?
Yeah, Trevor.
Welcome into the Banter, everybody. We are struggling to turn the...
I think the battery's about to
color today.
Oh,
that was really good.
It always makes for an exciting time trying to turn the light green. If you guys are, for some reason, new to the show, this isn't usually a show that people are new to. But if you are, we try to turn the light green. Well, we're supposed to just turn the light green at the beginning of every episode because the Banter colors is green.
I'm almost disappointed in myself that I haven't purposely taken the battery out before a podcast episode.
That's hilarious.
Because, and I've said it now.
You don't really need to.
But because then you'd never get it to turn.
That is true.
We'd be here for like 20 minutes because I know you wouldn't give up.
Yeah. But you know what never fails you? Go ahead, Trev.
I'll tell you what never fails me, and that's the sponsor of today's show, and that's Double G Craft Jerky. They make delicious beef jerky, an incredible snack, and a multitude of delicious flavors, including a brand new one. That's a citrus pepper teriyaki beef jerky. That's their newest flavor. They also do trail mix and dried fruit if you're not into the jerky situation. They also make hats if you're just not even into the food situation and you want a hat instead. All their every bag sold goes to the Double G, or part of every bag sold goes to the Double G Children's Foundation that contributes to the promotion of disc golf to youth. They buy discs and baskets for inner city children and donate thousands to families in need of money for events. They also offer 1-ounce bags that are great for player packs for disc golf tournaments. They do subscriptions as well. If you want a jerky subscription, what could be better than that? They do 3,
Christmas
6
is around the corner.
That's right. Great gift. They do a 3, 6, and 12-month subscriptions. You can adjust the quantity for as many bags as you'd like. And if you use code Foundation, you can get 10% off your order. The link is in the description, so make sure to check out Double G Craft Jerky. It is delicious.
Heck yeah.
My favorite flavor personally is teriyaki.
Garlic lover's dream.
I like sweet and spicy.
There you go. 3 great flavors to try out right there. So thanks again to Double G for sponsoring the show today.
Heck yeah. If you're new to this show, the point of this show is it's an excuse for us every week to talk about random crap because we all have a lot of random crap going on in our heads and we like to talk about it. Also, I was thinking about it this week. Some of you guys like to listen to this, which is really cool. If you're listening to the podcast, or if you're on right YouTube, all of 100% of you are listening right now, which is a great stat to have. But if you could go on YouTube and hit like, or put a comment down there, or subscribe to the Banter podcast on YouTube, we're trying to grow that channel and everything, because it will further give us an excuse to talk about random crap every week, and so that will help if you guys show that you support our random talking.
You know
our bantering, if you will.
The Double G ad read made me think of something. Because I was thinking about their hats. Because their hat, my Double G hat, I keep exclusively at home. Like I almost wear it exclusively to do the other day I wore it to do drywall, and I wore the a couple weeks ago to do weed eating. There's certain do you find yourself, and this may be you're going in full dad mode when this starts happening, but do you have certain articles of clothing that you're like, this is my get stuff done?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, this past weekend for me, it was a cutoff T-shirt,
which I saw driving through Forest.
My shoulders got nice and toasty.
Where was it cut off? It was like your midriff area, because I cut mine off turned into a crop top. That's how I mow.
No, my
I just want my belly.
So I used to be really into that sort of deal, and I looked up. I was pretty good at knowing how to cut. You're supposed to cut. I don't go too far in on the shoulders.
I watched a YouTube short about it.
I get down to just below is that the that's your deltoid right there? Is that muscle right there?
I believe.
Is that your delt? So you get just below that to where that's out, but not to where, there were kids I used to play basketball with that would get to the point where it was so low that if one kid grabbed, gone.
Yeah.
Ripped.
Well, I was making a joke. I was saying I cut it off and turned it into a crop top.
I believed you.
But I was making a joke.
Yeah. I believed you.
I did cut a shirt for the first time to mow of a few months ago because it's so hot, or a month ago, I guess. And it was an old Liberty shirt, perfect shirt to turn into a yard mowing shirt. But since then, it has continued to roll. The edges.
You got to turn it inside before you cut.
Got what?
You turn it inside out before you cut it, so that the rolls go the other way.
That's genius. No, see, it's rolled.
I know.
It is now turned into. It is now turned into. I went to go pick up an order from Chick-fil-A the other day, and my nipples were hanging out. Yeah. I was standing in and I told Gabby, I was like, I don't want to go in. Like, I'm not going to go in. I'm wearing this cutoff shirt. Like, I just mowing the lawn in this. Yeah. And she said, okay, I placed it for pickup in drive-thru. She didn't. Mm-hmm. She didn't place it for pickup in drive-thru. She was like, I'm so sorry. You have to go in. And I went in and I stood in the lobby of Chick-fil-A with my nipples out.
Yeah, you got to turn inside out. I actually forgot about that till you said that.
I wasn't happy.
Yeah. But you weren't embarrassed.
I wouldn't say embarrassed, more ashamed.
What Chick-fil-A were you at?
Disappointed in yourself?
The one next to our house.
Yeah, I was going to say, it depends on what establishment you're out, but some places you fit right in around these parts.
Not at Chick-fil-A, though.
If you were, any of the ones in our area, none of them are like out in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would have been okay going into a Walmart.
I have a lot of clothes that I don't really care about. I'm about to do a lot of painting, so I'm gonna have to figure out what shirts I really don't care about. You said you were doing drywall, Brad. I you know what? I keep seeing videos of guys that like from the olden days, like old videos of people doing drywall where all they had was that drywall tool that just looks like a little hatchet thing, and they're just like scoring it and breaking it off, and they're so good at it, and then they're manually just like one tapping nails in, like I want to be good at drywalling like that. That is so sick.
You know who is very good at drywall? Who? Kimberly. She is really excellent.
Wow. That doesn't surprise me.
I think half the battle, like there's definitely technique to drywall, but half the battle is being good at eyeballing. Yeah. Especially when you're doing curves and you're like, because the guys that are best at it are like, oh, I need a hole for an outlet.
Or girls.
Guys or girls that are good at it. They're like, oh, I need a hole for an outlet right here. Okay, line it up a little. And they can just scrape it out. Or the craziest is when I saw a guy doing an archway where he scored it just enough to
I think I saw that same video.
Oh, my goodness.
It's very satisfying.
Drywall it's such a funny thing, too, because like it's such a not exact science. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to cover the space.
Yeah.
And so when you watch people do it, it's kind of like, it's funny that and all the things of home building then have to be a little more precise. Drywalling, you just kind of like.
I also really like watching whenever people epoxy like concrete or epoxy floors, and you see them like have the big old glob and they're like sliding it around everywhere and getting it perfectly smooth. That's real satisfying.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched like a professional crew do an entire house worth of drywall?
Dude, they're fast.
Yeah, we built our house in Ohio, and I went over one day just to like check on everything, and the drywall guys just got there, and I swear I stayed there for like an hour just staring because I didn't know what was happening.
They're lightning fast.
Yeah, it did not even take them a full 8-hour day to do an entire home.
They're so quick, and they drive those nails home so fast. You know what I saw the other day was some people doing DIY stamped concrete, which I never realized, like everybody said, stamped concrete. I never like even thought about how they stamp it, and it's just like these big rubber stamps basically that they just like you lay down on your wet concrete and like you step on it basically and just make the pattern that way.
Wow,
very interesting.
It's very simple, but I did not realize that. I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Stamped concrete.
I just never thought about it.
There it is. Stamp it.
Yeah. So anyway, again, what made me think of that was I walked out the other day and I had a particular shirt on, and Kimberly goes, "Oh, what are you working on?" So it made me feel like I have a brand at home. Like if he puts on this outfit with this hat, he's gonna get some stuff done.
I've definitely got work hats. Yeah. Like I got I'm either if I'm going like working in the yard or something, or if I'm working out, then I'm wearing my gray Bass Pro Shop hat. It's $6. I can get another one easily, and it's already got sweat stains in it. So it's good to go. Also, that hat is like trendy enough to where I can wear it to work or wear it to whatever, and I'm just wearing a trendy Bass Pro Shop hat, but I also don't care about it to where I can go to sweating right afterwards. So it works perfect.
Wear it with your nipple shirts.
Yeah. Exactly.
It classes up
the interesting thing about that shirt is it's not sleeveless. I just cut holes around the nipples. Real bad chafing was going on, so I'm just kidding. And then I have a green. This hat actually was expensive, but I sweat in it too much, and then I just turned it into a work hat. But I bought it in Charleston, South Carolina, in a fly fishing shop, and it's a like a small fly fishing company, like apparel, and it's like the whole back, the whole entire top is mesh, like trucker hat mesh, the whole top, and then it's got like a patch on it, and it's like this cool army green. But the whole thing's mesh, so it's like a cool hat. Like it's not super hot, and so that's also that's like what I mow the lawn in typically.
What is your most favorite household task that you like? Oh, I don't mind doing that. And what is your least favorite?
Household. So we're talking about in the house or outside the house?
It can be either. I'm just saying, like,
property
it's
task.
Not your. It's you're at your house. You're like, hey, I gotta get this done at some point during the week, and I don't mind doing this task. And then the other one, you're just like, man, I just avoid it.
You know, the one that I probably hate the most is laundry. I hate doing laundry, even though it is so easy.
Right.
It's one of the easiest. You're inside. You're not outside.
I hate laundry.
You literally just set it and forget it, and then have to just every like hour fold some and put it away. But for some reason, I hate it so much, and I don't know why. I would say the thing that I like doing the most, because like anything outside is automatically like there's a lot of satisfying work to be done out there, but outside work is just harder typically. But when it comes to like inside stuff, just general straightening up and organizing and picking up to where it's nothing too intense, but you're just making things like cleaner and more. I love that. I could walk around the house listening to music and just like do some general straightening up. And yes,
that's not me.
I like that.
Konner?
I realized whenever you said that, I haven't done a load of laundry in about 2.5 years. Gabby just does all the laundry. Just because we literally have decided like, okay, these are the tasks I don't really like. She doesn't really like vacuuming and she doesn't really like sweeping. So I'll do those things. And, I don't do laundry, and she's really particular about how the laundry is done. So she does the laundry because she doesn't mind doing it. And so it's just not one of the things that I do, which I'm glad because I hate it. I usually do like load and unload the dishwasher because I get home from work before she does because she goes in later than me. And, I feel bad just sitting on the couch and relaxing if I know that the washing or the dishwasher is just like done.
I always hate the idea of doing the dishes and the like unloading the dishwasher, but then once I start
I'm
doing
the same way.
Once I do it, I'm like, this is the easiest thing ever. And
especially
it's
with
like
the dishwasher.
It's the easiest thing. Like I cleaned our kitchen last night. I straightened the whole thing up and did the dishes and everything, and it took me, I don't know, like 30 minutes to like clean the whole kitchen, and it was like, that's not that bad. It just always is a little more
I'm the most frustrated at the idea of doing dishes.
Yeah.
But you're right. Whenever I'm doing it, it's never
like,
like that.
okay.
You want to know why I get stressed out about it? That's why I hate doing dishes, because I get stressed.
Yeah.
Because I am convinced that I don't know where anything goes at my own house, where Gabby and I decided where everything. Like every time I put dishes away, I'm consistently having a panic attack of just like, I don't know where this goes. Where the heck are our forks? And I know where everything is, and also if I don't know where like particular things go, I can just put it on the counter, and then Gabby will tell me when she gets home. But I just like am convinced that I'm going to put everything in the wrong place, and then somebody's going to get upset at me. Probably because my mom used to do that to me. But yeah. She used to be like, Konner, why did you put this bowl here? I'd be like, I'm sorry, Mom.
Yeah, that's probably why I dread the dishes, because that's like my childhood memory of like my parents. When my sister and I were a little older, like my sister and I's job was to clean the kitchen most nights after dinner. So like one of us would, we didn't even have a dishwasher growing up. So one of us would wash the dishes, the other person would dry them and put them away. Always wanted to be the dryer. That was a way better job.
I'm the opposite, because the dryer always had to put them away.
Well,
and I didn't want to put them away.
This is why it was better for us, was because we had a like drying rack, so we didn't have to put anything away until it didn't fit in the drying rack. Okay. So the dryer sometimes we'll have to do like 4 or 5 pans, and so it was just it's a better job. But we'd always be like dreading it, like waiting, like okay, do we try to walk away from the table? But we know they're about to tell us like you need to do those dishes. So.
Yeah, but my favorite task is probably, it's like another one of those things where it's like you're supposed to complain about it, but like also at the same time, like I love mowing the lawn just because it's like a guaranteed hour and a half a week that I get to just listen to a podcast and mow my lawn.
If the weather is good, mowing the lawn's a great time. If it's stinking hot outside.
I just love an excuse to like be able to listen to whatever I want to, and just
that's what cleaning is for me in general. Is I'm like if I'm gonna clean, I have permission from my wife to put AirPods in and not listen to anybody while I clean, and just listen to music, or podcast, or whatever. So like that's why That's why I tell her, like, if I'm gonna go clean the kitchen, she knows, like, I'm gonna have AirPods in. You're not going to be able to get my attention for an hour.
I feel that way about mowing too. It's very zen activity for me.
It is an escape. Mowing for me.
Now, it was much better whenever I used to mow with the riding mower, I will say.
Well, so mowing for me as a kid, and we had a push mower growing up, so like it was a labor. But when we would do like a yard work day, the yard work other than mowing would be things such as weeding, mulching, picking up pine cones out of the yard. We had a lot of pine trees, so my dad would be like, "You got to get all these pine cones up before you mow." So mowing,
run those puppies over.
Once I learned to mow the lawn when I got a little older and can do it, I actually would like immediately suggest that I did the lawn, because that to me was a lot easier task than having to do those other things. And then that was my task for the day. I mowed the lawn, everybody else did everything else.
Oh, I used to love that.
So like that was my like get out of jail card, was like, I'm gonna be the one mowing the lawn. And I'd take my sweet time.
It's like literally the exact same thing with me. Was like if we had like a day where we were like doing a work in the yard day, and my dad's like handing out tasks. I'm like, hey, I'll mow, and he's like, okay, Connor's gonna mow, because I was always the person that mowed. But that just meant that I got just sit on the riding mower and mow.
If you had a riding mower, that's a really good
Everybody
thing.
else is raking and doing all this stuff, and I was on the riding mower.
Mowing now that so my oldest is old enough to mow, and I mean even we have a 0-turn. Eli, it's easy for either one of them to mow. We just have we have about 6 acres between the fields, so it's a very easy mow for them to start learning that. So, and Kimberly loves to mow, so we're all always fighting over who gets to mow.
That's funny.
And I'm like, I used to like just
good problem to have.
Yeah, and Kimberly likes weed eating.
You know,
and I've not had to weed eat this entire year. She's like, no, her dad did not let her do like any outdoor things because it was like not girly.
Okay.
So she's like way into. She's like, oh no, I was never allowed to. Let me weed eat. I'm like, okay.
There's a skill of weed eating. Well, first of all, whenever it's funny because when I grew up, it was known as weed whacking where I lived.
Yes, same.
Weed eating was not a thing. I heard that when I came down south, and I said weed whacker, and people were like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we always called it weed eating.
But there's a skill to that, because my dad is really good at it. And I'm not like getting like really good lines and like edging the lawn or whatever. And I'm not great at it.
The key is you have to move your weed eater in the same way that your weed eater rotates.
So it doesn't kick back at you, it kicks forward.
It's designed, and if you notice, your little guard is like designed that way to like pull the grass back into the guard, hit it down to the ground so it doesn't throw it into whatever you're trying to avoid getting weeds into. I just learned that.
Okay. Yeah, I did too.
I did see a video on that.
Yeah.
I also saw that with trimming, I saw somebody turn it upside down the other day, and I was like, I'm going to do that next time. Because I always try to put it sideways, and then it digs into the ground and takes off like a wheel, and then I'm just putting a eyebrow stripe through my yard.
You see the landscape guys that are real good at that are like lining up. They're basically sod cutting with like their weed eater, but that's a skill right there.
This guy yesterday, he literally had it completely upside down, was just holding it like this and going like that. And I was like, I guess I'll try that. I'm also this close to taking my guard off, because I know landscaper, landscapers always have the guard off.
I'm gonna take my toe
Warning.
off.
Warning.
You have to have a powerful enough trimmer to do that, though.
So I did weed eat the other day. We put in a new fence in our yard, and I was just trying to help Kimberly out, and I was weeding around the fence, and a piece of the string caught around the bottom of the chain link fence, shot into my leg and stuck into my leg.
Oh my God.
What stuck into your leg?
Like a piece of the weed eater string, like just went and stuck into me like a needle. And I just like stopped and stared at my leg, and I'm like, am I all right? And I just pulled it out and kept going.
How deep was it in there?
1/4 of an inch. Like, it hurt so bad.
Those things are serious business, man. Like the weed eater string it'll mess you up.
I actually bought. I've yet to use it. It's still in the package because I'm terrified of it. But for like our wooded area, I was going to try to like trim it all out at one point, and I bought like those blades that you attach to your weed eater.
Yeah.
And then I just convinced I will actually chop my leg off.
Oh my
if I use
gosh,
it. So
dude.
they're still in the package. I'm like,
you haven't
that's
used
for a
them
dark
yet?
day.
Okay, I was wondering. I've seen. I've only ever seen people still have them in the package. I've never seen anybody use it.
No, because they're spinning wheels of death.
Yeah,
dude. You realize that.
Speaking of people being aggressive with power tools, have you ever seen guys? It's usually people in like tile work use wet saws.
I have one.
Yeah.
So wet saws they are typically not going to just chop your finger off immediately. Like they won't pull you in. They're not as dangerous. So if you, I didn't know that when I first saw people using this, but will be holding these little pieces of tile to get these precise cuts and have their fingers just millimeters from these saw blades, like just like pushing it in, like things you would never do with a normal saw like that.
Yeah.
And it's wet.
Yeah.
So it's slippery.
Well, then people and then people in the comments be like, no, like a wet saw is like, you might give yourself a little cut, but like you're not going to just chop your finger off. And I'm like, but still, it's a saw. Like they get so aggressive with those things. Oh my gosh.
My buddy came down. We redid the tile to our like walk-in shower, and my buddy came down to help me, and he does construction and stuff. And I bought a wet saw for the task, and he was doing that. Like tiny pieces for the edges.
So small, like just little pieces of tile.
The whole time I was like, I cannot watch this. I want to throw up.
It's terrifying. They get so close to it. They just don't care.
Yeah, I've watched too many people cut the tips of their fingers off with saws to like.
Saws don't scare me too much though. What scares me is electricity. I'm terrified of electricity. Not to the point where I won't like get near it, but to where I'm just very cautious, which I'm a little nervous about because in my house I'm gonna have to rewire things and do a lot of that stuff.
I'm your boy for that.
You almost killed yourself with a washing machine.
That's when I was a kid. And I wasn't trying to fix it. That was my parents' negligence in not putting the stuff back over top of the electrical like spot on the back. Yeah, for some context, I was helping
Brad
my
almost
parents.
shocked himself to death.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have a stroke. But no, we were putting in a new washer and dryer, and my dad like changed out the plug and left the back off of it because he was just like, I'm not going to put that back on. And I was picking it up, and I don't know why it was plugged in. It was plugged in at this point, I guess, because we couldn't get back behind it. And I literally put my hand on the spot where the plug screws into the actual dryer.
Okay.
And it shocked me so bad that I thought I was going to pass out. And I didn't feel my whole arm for a day.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it was the worst shock I've ever had.
That's crazy. And then all those tattoos appeared.
Yes.
Yeah, these aren't even real. They just
burns.
they came.
Wow.
They're burned
That's
in
crazy.
the shape of that.
I'm definitely. I mean, most of the stuff I need to do is just changing out receptacles, which like just flip the breakers. Like there won't even be power. But I'm definitely the type of guy like I will make sure I get a wire tester.
Yep.
To be just jamming all in there, making sure that there's nothing live because I've changed my car battery a few times. And even though I know it's perfectly safe and like I know what I'm doing and it's not that difficult, I'm still just like real tentative when I'm sticking metal near electric things.
Yeah, no one wants to be the guy that dies from getting shocked.
Exactly.
Like no one wants to be that guy.
Like that's just not fun.
No, I mean, you know what gave me like confidence working on electricity, which should not at all give me this confidence. But when I was building drones for a while, and before that, I'd not messed with any like electricity circuit boards, anything like that. I did a lot of soldering. I had to be like really careful with like voltage and stuff to like not fry stuff.
Yeah,
it like made me understand electricity a little bit more. So I think that gave me some confidence. But I'm with you. Like I have a beeper that I have like a little like belt I have for electrical work that has all my pliers and like testers and electrical tape in it.
Yeah, man.
Hey, and don't underestimate a good piece of electrical tape and a wire cap and a little bit of extra. If you're out there and you're putting wire caps on your wires and not electrical taping them on, you're making a mistake.
You're making a mistake.
You heard it here.
I've seen like these videos of guys who do like doing like industrial electric work to where they'll literally have other guys holding out like a pole that's attached to them to ground them. I think that's what I need. I need Konner to come out there and just like have a giant ground attached to me so that I can't get shocked too bad.
Just stand barefoot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Grounding.
Grounding.
You guys ever do that? Do you guys ever just go out and ground yourself a few times?
Sometimes whenever I take the trash out.
I've seen people that do like that are really into that to even like do beds that are designed to
that's what my sister and my brother-in-law
ground
did.
them.
My brother-in-law took a iron rod and hammered it into the ground outside their window and then just ran a copper cable from the rod to like a pad that they had on their bed.
My mother-in-law had like a grounding pad or whatever. It's a very fascinating science.
Yeah, it is science. It's not like a conspiracy. People, whenever you say it, people think that you're like a crazy Earth person.
The
Earth like emits frequencies and stuff like that that your body is naturally in tune to. So whenever you spend your entire life separated from those frequencies and those like electric pulses and everything, i.e. shoes or carpet or anything, if you spend a lot of time separated from it, then your body becomes out of tune with the earth, which you live on. And so it's supposed to be that whenever you ground, as in like your bare feet are on the ground, you're grounding yourself to the earth's frequencies and electric pulses and stuff like that. And it's supposed to be better for your it helps supposedly
because like I don't know, is there any science about like
yes,
I know that
yes, there is
I know
science
the
that backs it
science
up.
that
well,
is
it's like electric. It's like electric therapy. Like there's like that works. It relaxes muscles and stuff like that.
Right, but
it's like an electrical chair. You know how all those people use electric chairs? Like,
I know the
idea
idea seems sound, but has there been like studies that show the results?
Yeah, there's. I have a whole book on it. My uncle used to be. He was a actual doctor of like natural medicine, and he actually had us do these things for a while where you plug them into the ground outlet in your actual house by your bed and put
like
them
it
around
just
your
plugs
ankle.
into just the bottom.
But yeah, there's a whole book on it. He had like a bunch of studies he read on it, and
it's supposed to help with inflammation. Is something that's
I've
really
heard that.
Help with.
I've heard that.
I don't know, like measurable, like actual.
Yeah, well, it's also different person to person as well.
Yeah,
but there's I've heard story like my
Mental,
sister.
I think, too.
I'm just gonna take out my floors, grass floors,
Dirt
grass floors,
just like the old days.
My sister.
I guess if I took out my floors, I just fall into the basement.
Take out those floors.
Yeah.
I'll just lay down.
Just go
sod.
outside. Hey, just go outside.
I'll just lay down sod like a chia pet,
Jeff,
in my living room.
I've always
just go
wanted to do that.
Like, what's your carpet? It's just grass.
Just grass.
We just planted it.
Lots of bugs.
Yeah, we have a lot of issues with bugs.
Yeah. I had to trim inside the house.
That would be okay. Would that be sustainable? Is that a business? Could you do no? No. Hold on.
Immediate no.
Could you do grass carpets? Because you just have to water them, and then you could have like this is inside, so bugs aren't going to spontaneously generate.
Yeah, but you have to water it so there's moisture in your house.
Well,
enclosed moisture, which leads to bronchitis and other lung disease.
Let's think about it. Let's think about maybe we do it on a screen.
There was a lot
we
of
do it on maybe a
tuberculosis
screened-in
back
porch or something, to where there is some airflow situation.
Okay,
we're not just trapping the moisture in the house.
Okay,
that makes sense.
So
but at the same time, like, how much water before it becomes an issue? Like, because like you can have indoor plants that you water, and that doesn't.
You just have good drainage off your. Maybe it's a porch. You have a good.
So like,
drainage
how
off
much big of a carpet could we have that's grass before it's like, okay, you have too much moisture in your house, because like it's just like a house plant. But how sick would that be if you had a carpet that you could just be chilling and like, oh, I want to step on my plush grass and get that grass feel? Mm-hmm. There's a business there.
Yeah, I feel like the business mainly is therapy of like telling people like, why are you so scared to go outside?
I don't know.
Are you scared to go
why
outside?
Why are you so obsessed with bringing outside inside?
Listen, I
Terra
nice.
rugs.
You're real nice. Well, it's like the and you know the logistics
ground.
side is already figured out, because they're already doing this.
GRUND.
They're already doing this for pets.
grund.
They deliver like the grass sections for your pets to pee on. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Like the real grass, they'll do that. So we just get them to pivot into the indoor rugs business.
Yeah, you can pee
And then
inside
you
too.
can, yeah.
There are benefits to this thing.
Mm-hmm. And you don't need toilet paper.
Correct.
You just get a little lower.
Yeah.
That's true.
A little wiggle going.
That'd be fun. I think, you know what? Ooh, you know what would actually be fun? So you know how
I don't know what would actually be
a lot of
fun.
men obsess over their lawns, right? We just talked about ours for quite a while there. You know bonsai trees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's sell little lawns.
Little lawn.
With little lawn. I'm not even kidding you.
and you can
I would do
stripe
this.
it, and you can
Yes,
stripe it?
I'm not even kidding you. I think intellectual property claim.
Okay,
right
hold
now.
on. I have a
It's
different
like
idea.
a 1 square foot lawn. We sell little lawn accessories.
Like a little push
and
mower.
little mower. We
Little
have
zero turn.
little like sod cutters, little weed eaters, like all that stuff. And then you water your little lawn. You keep care of your little lawn. Then we start selling, like, you can get little accessories to place on your lawn. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Here's another.
I'd buy that.
So I'm gonna go another direction, but it's more like it's
Little lawns.
Were you
It's
guys?
but
You guys
LLC.
are. You guys are too young. Did you get into like the Zen garden phase? Did you?
I know.
about
Well,
that?
that's the kind of what this would be.
What do you
but
mean
just
too
for a
young?
lawn.
Hasn't that been around for hundreds and hundreds of years?
Well, thousands, but yes. No, I mean, like there was a phase like in the 90s or maybe early 2000s where it was like a thing. Your parents bought you a little one.
Oh
to,
no,
like,
I know
put
I never
rocks
did
in
that.
and rake-
I
okay.
saw them in offices sometimes, in doctors' offices.
Little Lawns LLC.
So I'm thinking something kind of like this is more like
LTTL.
a little dad gadget that you would find in like those like really weird
Company named Dad Gadgets. just
think of
also.
like Francesca's or
Okay.
like any of those really weird trendy stores
boutiques,
that have
almost.
that have like the random cups that say like all I do is read and drink wine,
Right,
like
but we do
stuff
that
like
for
that.
dads.
But there's always like the little knickknack sections. Those
Yeah.
are the fun sections. Those are the sections that you look at while your wife's trying on $100 dresses that we're not going to buy.
Yeah.
And so it should be in a little cardboard box. And instead of like real grass, it's just like almost like a small green like carpet type thing where whenever you wipe it back and forth, it changes colors. You know how like if you have a fabric,
okay.
or like you're on a couch and you wipe your hand,
Okay,
it changes
okay.
colors.
Like those Dazzle, like
Okay, let 'em
pillows.
cook.
Yeah.
Uncooked.
And then you have a little lawnmower in there that just has like a little kind of wiper thing on the bottom. And you can just sit at your desk and while you're thinking or like you're a little
can mow
stressed,
the
you can
lawn.
just stripe your lawn.
Oh.
You can just stripe your lawn
yeah.
back and forth, whatever
Oh
pattern you
my
can go.
gosh.
You can do diamonds.
Here's-
Just while you're sitting
there's
there
a
at
market
work,
for this, 'cause
this is a great
'Cause
idea.
people sell those.
Amazing
People
idea.
sell those miniature little golf ball like
or like mini bowling alleys. I've got a mini bowling
they,
alley
they
at home.
sell that stuff. Mini lawn mowing.
A stress relieving yard striper.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I mean, what
Heck-
are we calling this?
Heck, even if we want to make this, even if you want to make
landscape escape.
landscape escape, I like that.
Landscape
we could even
escape.
make it autonomous if we wanted, where we just had one where it's a 0-turn mini mower with a battery in it. And it just you're just watching it mow. You just stare at it. you're just watching it mow your lawn, and then it resets, and then it does it again.
That
wow,
is fun.
I'd fall asleep to that.
I mean,
Wow,
did you just find
big
it?
update.
Oh,
No, well we can't. It's
We can't disclose
oh,
it.
I
yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about like I would have that sitting on my desk. Like if I'm just sitting here and I'm like trying to think of a video, like we're trying to think of ideas or something, or I'm trying to think of what to edit, or I'm waiting for someone to export. Just like take some time. I just stripe that thing back and forth a little bit. I mean, this is an actual great idea.
I need to Google now. Mini.
It's got to exist, right? That's
Surely.
It's memey enough
Surely.
that someone's done it already.
Mini
I mean, I can
lawn.
literally see it sitting in one of those little knick-knack sections.
Have you, the autonomous like mowing made me think of. Do you remember what happened to those like little robots? What were they called? Do you know what I'm talking about? Had like a little shovel on the front of them that like could learn with you. Do you know what I'm talking
What are you
about?
talking about? What is it?
They were
I
like
do
these
not know what
tiny
you're talking
desk. It was a Kickstarter, and I think they made them for a while, and maybe they stopped. But
Doesn't exist.
you could like program, and it could also like learn with you, and you could say, "Oh, hey, whatever this little robot's name is, go to the other side of the table," and it would just like pop off its charger and go to the other side of the table.
That's
it was like
fun.
a pet. If you like pet it on its head, it would like get happy.
I
And
think they made a
That's
lot of
kinda fun.
robots like that when I was growing up. Like that was a very big thing to own. I mean, it started with the dog robots. I feel like those
Yeah,
were really
yeah,
big.
yeah.
You could like tell it to sit or like whatever.
I'm giving this my search attempt.
And then
to try
like
to find this.
Lego started making ones that were like that where you could program them or like
Yep.
talk to them and stuff like that. Those were just a big
I'm typing in
trend.
desktop yard.
Everybody kind of had an obsession with robots for a while there.
yeah, I mean, we did, and I think people still do.
Well, now everything's just AI
Yeah,
and the cloud.
yeah. This guy, emo.
Yeah. I feel like I saw a million robots just like that when I was growing up. Like that was such a thing.
Man, I still want one.
I do too, kind of. I wanted to be on my desk.
Yeah, they were very cool. Yeah, he had like a little like almost like a scoop from like a, I guess a bulldozer sort of thing on the front.
Yeah.
It could pick up stuff. It could bring you your pen. You could train it to bring you your pen.
Now that's cool. Yeah, they could bring you your own office supplies. That's
yeah,
very
and you
neat.
could be like, hey, emo, go on your charger, and it'd be like, okay, and it would go on its charger. So you don't have to remember to charge it. It charge itself.
His name was Emo.
I think, or
So you'd
something
be like, hey,
that.
Emo, go to Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah, hey emo, listen to Emery, listen to Emery and cry.
Yeah.
That's fun.
What is the
Hey, Emo, where are you? And I'm so sorry.
Oh my. What music do you find yourself going back to, like that you used to listen to?
I don't
Anything
really,
in particular?
The thing is, like, I don't think that there's ever. I don't ever have to go back to, because every amount of music that I've ever brought along with me, I just keep listening to.
Well,
I continually am listening to.
I
old
respect
music.
you for that, but I also would have to counter and say you don't listen to enough music.
I listen to a lot of music.
Trevor does listen to a good bit of music, actually.
Yeah,
I just don't. I feel like I like too much music to like continually know all of it.
Well, my thing is, the way I listen to music is I have for years and years and years been saving. Like I use
Shopify.
Yeah, Shopify. I use Spotify, and I just like a song and it saves it, and I have thousands of songs in there, and I just shuffle them. So therefore, my entire catalog is being shuffled through at all times. Therefore, I'm staying with the music I saved 5 years ago and with the music I saved 2 days ago, all at once. So that's kind of how I listen to music. I don't ever have to be like, oh, let me dive back into some stuff I used to listen to, because it's there.
See, I'm like are you like a song listen to kind of person, or are you like an album person?
Oh, I'm definitely a song listener.
I'm an album person.
When an
I
album-
have to do
That's
albums.
probably what it is.
I don't-
The
if
way
I-
I listen to music is that when an album comes out, I will listen to the whole album through. I'm definitely not just going to cherry pick. I'll listen to the album because I want to hear it the way that they wanted the album to be played. Like,
Right.
I want to hear it. I respect that. But then I'm going to pick the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, how many songs that I liked from that album, save them, and then. So like, if an album was really good, I'll know, because on my saved thing, I'll have like, there are some albums where I have almost the entire album saved. I'm trying to think of a recent example. I know there was a few in college that like almost the entire album I had saved on there, but quite a few Taylor Swift albums where most of the album is saved because she makes pretty complete albums. But
Yeah.
a lot of artists these days, there's like they only try on 2 songs.
Yeah, and maybe it's like, because I'm a songwriter as well, Konner. So probably you probably appreciate like the entire thought. Not that you don't, Trevor, but for me, I just like to listen to the whole thing, and usually I'll like get into a phase
I
where
like to
I'm
hear
like,
how songs are supposed to go together. and
yeah,
stuff
how
like
they
that.
all, like that science of how to put them together.
And sometimes
how they
whenever
flow.
bands release singles, I don't like them, but then whenever I listen to them in context,
Same.
in the context of the album, I do like them.
Yeah, and I will listen to that. I'll get like hooked on an album or a couple albums, and then I'll remember other albums.
I almost like what I'll do is every so often I'll kind of like seek out music on my Spotify, and I'll find like a stretch of like 4, 5, or 6 songs that I really like, save them, and then the next few times I go to listen to music, I'll run through that set of songs that I found that I really liked, and kind of like not tire them out, but like get my enjoyment out of them. Like that I am definitely a song can go on repeat for me. Like each time I open Spotify, like, ooh, this song I've really been liking, I want to listen to it right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard for me to like know where to look to find new music though. I've been influenced by a lot of people. Like when I first got into college, I had pretty basic music taste. And then I had a lot of friends who listened to a lot more alternative stuff that was a little more like niche. And I started finding a lot of music that way. Then my wife is from the South. And when I met her, I started listening to country music, like good older country music. And I still enjoy new country music now. And that was something I did not listen to before. So I kind of added that. At this point, I don't think there's a genre of music, at least a typical genre, that I don't enjoy or have a few songs from that I enjoy. Because I've kind of gone through the whole.
Check out that. I'm big into cultivating like really good playlists. I have a specific playlist I'm showing Trevor right now. I call it my garage country playlist.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
You have
You
any
use Apple Music, I noticed.
You have any Brothers Osborne on there?
No, this is all
This is
Trevor.
old stuff.
This is old stuff.
I like
so,
that.
Oh, okay.
Travis
So
a
like
lot.
classic country.
and I think it's reminiscent of like my grandpa, like kind of what
Okay.
he listened
George
to,
Strait.
because he was into like older country music.
Glenn Campbell.
Tyler Childers makes the
Hank
cut.
Williams
No
Jr.
Alan
Tyler
Jackson,
Childers,
I noticed.
Yeah, no, I like Alan Jackson, just not as
He's
much.
not classic country.
Yeah. But like Tyler Childers
he's pretty
did make
classic.
that.
I think whenever I think classic country, I think like Glenn Campbell, Hank Williams.
It's about a vibe. Like that new Tyler Childers album like has the vibe.
Did you guys see
of,
that
like,
Jimmy Buffett
old-
passed away?
I did see
Yeah,
that.
I
That's
mean,
sad.
I watched my wife cry.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah, Gabby's mom was like a huge Jimmy Buffett fan.
Okay.
She went to like 10 concerts.
Okay,
So
well, that's fair. then.
Yeah. So
I thought Gabby was just like tied to Jimmy Buffett on her own. I was like,
Yeah.
that's very. I would not pick that.
no, yeah.
That's
So
very weird.
I literally I walked upstairs and Gabby's like has tears coming out of her eyes, and she was like, I have really, really bad news. And I was like,
oh no,
what is going on right now? She was like, Jimmy Buffett died. And she just starts crying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening right now? Because like her grandpa was a huge Jimmy Buffett fan, her grandma, and then her mom were all huge Jimmy Buffett fans.
Yeah.
They're all passed away, right? Like as of now. So I think it was just kind of like she lost another member of the family because of that. But I was like, I don't know what to do right now.
I get that. In the same way, like that list.
We can listen to Cheeseburger in Paradise right now if you'd like.
The way
we could cry together.
The way I got in the country, it was like actually I started listening to it with like a lot of the ironic, like pandering country music, some Luke Bryan, some Jason Aldean, and that kind of stuff. And I still like them, but like a lot of the stuff I really started liking was like 2000s country. So Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, Brad Paisley, Billy Currington, to name a few. But that's
this list for us. We have like a Jeepin list that we listen to, just like ironically.
Keith Urban makes that list a good bit, but I do like a lot of that decade. I really like Kenny Chesney.
My relationship with country music is really funny because I grew up in the South. I know
you have a rule of country music. You got to tell everybody your rule.
Oh, I want to hear this. I don't know this.
What's my rule?
What it can't say in the first 2 lines or whatever.
Oh yeah, I can't talk about beer or trucks in the first line, but it does
Second
always.
line, fine.
Yeah, but whenever I was younger, growing up, I was like I grew up. I lived in North Carolina, so I realized for those of you that live in like Florida or like Alabama and stuff like that, you might be like, oh, that's not the South. But I lived in Union County, which is like super middle of nowhere in the cornfields. It was really, really, really redneck. And the middle school I went to, like everybody listened to country music. Like that was all they listened. That's all they knew. I heard Red Solo Cup so many times. And so I hated country music because I hated middle school, and I was a little skater boy. So I just listened to The Killers and Foo Fighters. And
Hot Fuss is one of the best albums of all time. Continue.
I agree. And so that's like that. I hated country music growing up, like absolutely hated it through high school, like literally. But I think also like whenever I heard it, I just thought about those stupid kids. So like it just made me hate it more. And then I got into college, still hated it. Gabby has always loved country music. I hated it. Anytime she'd put on a country music song, I was just a turd. Like it immediately put me in a bad mood. And then like later high school, I started to watch a lot of videos that would be dissecting songwriting of early country music, of classic country, and talking about how classic country actually is known for having the best songwriting of all music because it's the most. I listened to a specific podcast about how it's rare that you'll find a rock and roll song that will make you cry, but almost every country song could make you cry. Yeah. And it's because they're not trying
Song
to
Exploder?
talk.
Is that what you listened to?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Tell a lot of stories in country
but
music.
it was mainly talking about Bobby Braddock, who was like one of the most well-known classic country writers. But it was about how like in like pop, rock, all these different things, usually you're not talking specifically and explicitly about a certain situation. You're talking about like how like you're trying to relate what you're feeling to everyone else so that everyone can feel it. But really, if you're trying to be like broad about it, nobody's really feeling anything. While in country music, they're telling a story about what specifically happened. And for whenever someone tells a specific story about themselves, people actually can relate to it more because it's more personal. And so that's why classic country music has such good songwriting, is because the storytelling is really good. So then I was like, okay, I got to get into this. Started listening to Glenn Campbell, Hank Williams Jr., George Strait, stuff like that, and loved it, absolutely loved it. I made a playlist called Indian Trail Fairview Road, which was the road that I drove from my parents' house to work every day. And I would have my BMW windows rolled down. I would just listen to classic country music every single day for months. And then I am where I am now, and I got a truck. And whenever I got a truck, I didn't have anything but just radio in it. And then I started listening to pop country music in the truck, ironically at first, because I thought it was funny. And then I started to understand the music, because I always hated it before because I was like, they're just pandering to everybody. It's just so stupid. None of these guys, all these guys are writing about jacked up trucks and dirt roads from their private jets from venue to venue. So like, it's so like
Hey,
not
man, Blake
personal.
Shelton owns a farm. Informative.
So much of it is so impersonal that it's like was stupid to me. But then I was like in the truck and I was like, you just gotta not think about it. You gotta just have a good
just feel
time.
the vibes,
It's just
yeah.
like it's just good time music. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And then I started to understand it and enjoy it. And I
like the way
now
it makes
can
me
enjoy.
feel.
I can appreciate pop country
I've
music
got
as
a-
long as I don't tear it apart too
I've got
much.
a great idea for the banter. So what we're gonna do
Uh-oh.
is Konner is gonna make me a playlist. I'm gonna make Brad a playlist, and Brad's gonna make Konner a playlist.
Oh.
Based on music that they would already be into, but just songs that you would recommend from those genres that they like. And then the next time we're all in the banter together, we're gonna review the playlists. So Konner, you know that I like pretty much everything.
Yeah,
Brad-
yours is easy. I can just put
and we're
anything that I
we're
think
gonna be
is good on
suggesting
there.
music from the stuff that we already have saved and like. So Brad, most of the music I have would either be country, some like alternative stuff, there's not really much rock, and then there would be, I mean, I don't know, what genres do you like to listen to?
He likes
Yeah.
punk.
I know you like punk, and I don't have much of that.
No, it would surprise people what I listen to. I like literally
You listen to a lot.
everything.
Yeah.
And I know people say that like generically, but
So you want me to give you a smorgasbord? Just give you a bit. I can give you a bit of everything.
Yeah, I think we limit to 20 songs, max
yeah.
20 songs.
Okay.
And yeah, just literally whatever. I
If
appreciate.
you just want me to pick 20 songs that I love, I will do that.
Yeah. If you would have heard me, okay, like yesterday morning when I rolled up to the warehouse, I was listening to the heaviest, nastiest stuff you've ever heard, and like this morning I was listening to more R&B, and then like other days I'll listen to like straight pop, like.
All right, well then I'm just gonna
you're-
pick 20 songs that I love and just throw them at you.
I just appreciate music in general.
Okay. All right.
And hey, my wife did point out to me that it's funny. I was just like showing her some like I'm on like this. I almost religiously every Friday on Apple Music I go listen to all the new something from all the new albums that came out for the week, just because I want to just find new good stuff.
Wow. Okay.
I make that's just something I just do. But I just she pointed out something the other day. She's like, do you realize that you like any song that says the word, they actually say the words honky tonk in them? That's probably accurate.
Okay. Well,
I realized that like I think just because music was like a huge like passion of mine growing up, like playing it, that I'm like really interested in artists and less interested in the songs. And so that's why like whenever we were talking about how like listening to a song or listening to an album, if I hear a song that I really like, and then I'll go over to the album and I'll listen to the rest of the album. And if the rest of the album sucks and it's not good, then I probably won't listen to the song ever again. Because like I want to get invested in an artist that I'm interested in. And so like when it's like the most disappointing thing in the world whenever I hear like a really good like indie rock song that like perfectly captures what I wanted to listen to in that moment, and I listen to that song like, oh, this is awesome. This is a new artist. I bet I'm going to love it. I listen to the rest of the album and it's all chill. It makes me... Oh, the worst thing in the world is whenever I hear a good song that has some good passion and some good builds and everything in it, and then I go listen to the rest of the album and it's all chill music. I hate chill music.
Yeah. Well, I in the same thing, Konner. I hate it when I listen and find a really good song and I'm like, for a new artist, and I'm like, this is awesome. This I'm gonna love. Like I get excited about finding new artists, and then you go to the album or just go to their library and like that's their only good song.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
makes me very upset.
Then I probably won't listen to the good song ever again.
No, because there's no point. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't like listening to something that I can't be invested in, and like Or if you listen to a good song that has a pretty good album, but their last album was in 2010,
just gonna say the same thing.
Then like I don't have anything to look forward to new music coming
music
out.
died
so.
in 2010, I think. I don't know. It's very sad.
dang. Okay.
Hey,
Well, I
no,
feel a lot of
Colony
pressure.
House kept on going, Brad. So don't forget about that.
That is true.
Well, you owe Konner a podcast. Konner owes me one, and I owe you one.
Playlist.
Playlist.
We're on a podcast.
I honestly don't.
20-song playlist.
I unfortunately don't listen to a ton of music anymore because I listen to a lot of podcasts.
better
So
figure
this will
it
be
out.
good. This will be good for me.
So I'd say deadline this Friday. By the end of
Okay.
work on Friday, and
Okay.
then next time we're on the banter, we'll give an overview of what we appreciated from each.
And I'm
other's
doing
pod-
this.
or each
Mine's.
other's playlist.
I'm doing Connor's,
Just
right?
Connor's.
Okay.
It just goes in the circle.
I will. I'll say something publicly that
Okay.
I'm just going to get roasted for.
Wow.
Can't
But
wait.
prove me wrong is what I
Uh-oh.
said.
Oh, I love it.
Prove them wrong.
Okay. Think what you want about the Jonas Brothers.
I'm
I like
doing
the
it.
Jonas Brothers.
Okay. their new album,
Yeah.
I think, will win a Grammy. It is that good.
That's because John Bellion's good.
That's true. But again,
it's a good album.
one of my Friday, like, I was like, okay, well, I've got to listen to this. It's kind of my thing. I can't discriminate until I hear something.
Yeah.
And I played the first thing. I was like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
album came out. I'm like, oh, wow, this is all pretty much good.
They are really good. The only problem I have with the Jonas Brothers is whenever they were with Disney, they were great. It was because they had Disney budget. So they had Disney songwriters and Disney producers and everything. So they made the Jonas Brothers awesome. I think very little of the Jonas Brothers is any talent anymore. They're all terrible singers. Not just not good singers, but like actually bad singers.
Yeah.
And maybe Kevin can play the guitar. I'm like, he's fine. But John Bellion's amazing. So that album was really, really, really good.
Yeah. There's a song. It's one of the more popular ones called Waffle House.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's a good
really
song.
good.
yeah.
I think that Walls is incredible. That song is insane.
Okay, I do make fun of that song though, because
He's just like yelling at
what's
the
the
end.
Jonas brother that no one knows?
Kevin.
Like he
You
like
just proved it perfectly just then.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Big Kev.
He like started this construction company business, like a bigger construction
That's
business
funny.
and stuff. And I always joked with Kimberly that I'm like, well, he obviously wrote this one's about walls and like
hilarious.
tearing down like different
funny.
walls and things. I'm like, this is his contribution to the album.
That's really funny.
No, I'm excited. This challenge has me excited.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got the wheel here.
Hit him with it.
Wheel?
It'd be great if we just end up on the next episode and then we can have a very immediate.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect.
Probably like 10 months from now before we get the recap, but it'll be fun. All right,
it.
let's see it.
Spin
First
it, spin
name.
it, spin it.
Looks like it's gonna be Brad.
Okay,
Might
we're on the right
happen.
track.
It might happen. Dude, this is gonna be crazy.
This would be crazy.
This would be crazy.
This would be crazy.
Come on, Wheel.
Have
Come
you ever
on.
thought
Pick
about
me,
how crazy
Wheel.
this would
Pick
be?
me, Wheel.
I'm a little nervous. I don't get nervous.
Oh my
very
gosh,
often.
I think it could. Oh, it's gonna be Hunter.
Okay,
Okay,
all right,
okay.
Big Hunt.
Hunter's back on the banter. That's good. Hunter had a 2-week off streak, so I'm happy that Hunter's back on the banter.
Are we noticing a pattern? Like
The
everyone's-
rotation's been pretty good. Like I had a few weeks on, I had a few weeks off, few weeks on. Now I'm gonna get a week off.
I had 2 on,
Yeah,
2
Jason
off.
had a couple in a row
He had
there.
2 on.
I think Silas is the one not getting love from the wheel.
Yeah, he's not getting much love from the wheel.
He's had a few episodes, but anyways.
Maybe we
okay.
should change it to a duck race. Maybe his luck will change.
Oh, that was
Oh
low.
my gosh, dude,
That was
not
not
the
good.
duck race, bro.
Good thing he has his headphones on right now.
All right, the noise is a duck quack.
Whoa.
Wow.
I think a
Trevor.
duck just spoke.
Oh my
from
gosh.
Wow.
not even going to do it again.
I don't even want to try now.
That was crazy.
All right, mine's going to be a very specific duck noise. If you've
Okay.
ever run into
be a
wild
duck
ducks,
when you
then
kill
know.
it.
Ready?
That is a very good duck hiss. It does
That's the
sound.
hiss.
Have you ever
Oh.
heard an angry duck before?
No, I've heard.
That's
I got
exactly
chased
what
by
they
a goose
sound
once.
like.
Yeah, it's very terrible because they sound like a snake almost. I'm
Yeah,
like, why?
it is
Wow.
scary, and
Geese are worse.
I felt
Yeah.
uneasy.
That's genuinely exactly what they sound like. This is always so nerve wracking because you don't know you don't
know what's gonna
practice
happen.
the sounds. You
That's
don't know
what
what's
makes
gonna
it
come
great.
out.
Yeah.
I like
Just do it.
I just forgot how sounds work just then. All right, I'm thinking about a duck. Quack.
That's fine.
That's
Whack,
more like
whack.
a Robbie C. Cage hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
All
a
right.
cartoony. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
That's
Hopefully you
okay.
enjoyed the banter.
Just a style.
Yeah. All right.
We'll hopefully get a playlist review in a few weeks. We'll see.
Playlist.